Good morning, Wet Shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next Monday morning mailbag hits the airwaves, or a piece of late breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, shows that are streaming online, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the May 4th, 2026 episode of Second Cup. Great to be with you this morning. I apologize for sounding a little bit nasal. I feel good, but I do have a little bit of nasal congestion going on. I've been fighting this for the last week or so. This kind of cropped up right after the Maggard meetup. I don't think the Maggard meetup caused this. I think it's the seasonal change in the weather with spring emerging and the weather here in Northeast Ohio getting cold and then warm and then cold again. We had a frost advisory the other night. I mean, it was cold. My furnace kicked in the other night because we went down to about 30, 32 degrees overnight. I couldn't believe it. And the high was only in the 40s, and it looks like we're going to warm up a little bit. But then I think I have to look at the forecast again. I think it's going to get cold again. And here we're in May. So I think that fluctuation in temperature is what's causing this. And also, I think just all the travel and being on the road and that sort of thing, and not getting enough sleep. Because when I produced the Monday morning mailbag with the Maggard meetup highlights, here's my routine. I may have mentioned this before, but I'll just give it to you again. Friday night, I'm editing the entire Monday morning mailbag show. So I'm up to about midnight doing that. And then I'm up the next morning about 6:30 in the morning so I can get a shower, a shave, get a little bit of breakfast. And then I'm on the road at 8 o'clock. And it's a 3-hour drive up to Adrian, Michigan. So I rolled into Adrian about 11:30, quarter to 12. I attend the Maggard meetup, which is an absolutely fantastic time. Great seeing everyone. And, I'm recording all the highlights there on my camera phone. And then I have dinner, and I had dinner this time with Abby, Kress, and Greg, that law firm we talked about on the Monday morning mailbag. Great seeing those guys. So we were at Culver's, and then I'm on the road at about 5 o'clock to drive home so I can edit all that footage into the Monday morning mailbag. So I get home at about 8:30 on Saturday night. That's when I rolled into the house, probably quarter after 8, 8:30, something like that. And then I sit down and I start going through all the footage that I shot, which was, I think, about 40 minutes, wasn't it? I know there was a long highlight reel, and I wanted to get everything into that particular episode. I was thinking about breaking it in two, half of the footage one week and the other half another week. And I thought, no, I'm going to put everything in one highlight reel. So we put all that together. So I'm editing all of that Saturday night, and that goes about, that went to about, I would say, midnight. And then, I go to bed, and then the next morning I'm up so I can attend Mass. That's an 8 o'clock Mass over here locally. So then after that, I'm putting the final touches on Monday Morning Mailbag and getting it uploaded and that sort of thing on Sunday morning so that everything kind of comes together. So, yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind, and I love doing it, and it was great seeing everyone there. But I just think that the perfect storm of a little bit of lack of sleep and the seasonal changes in the air and that sort of thing kind of leads to a little bit of a nasal situation, a little sinus condition. I wouldn't call it a sinus infection, although I think it was borderline there for a while. But I do have a couple of remedies here, natural remedies that really, really help. And I'll share those with you in case you suffer from the same kind of seasonal allergies and sinus situations, sinus conditions. And again, I'm not a doctor, so please don't take this as medical advice. I'm just sharing with you what I do that seems to help me. The first thing I use is the Arm & Hammer Simply Saline Nasal Mist. Got this little metal bottle right here. I buy these in 3-packs from Walmart, and this is a Simply Saline Nasal Mist. Instant relief for everyday congestion, helps with clearing congestion, moisturizing dry nose, and flushing irritants. And that really is a terrific product to use. You just take that nozzle and you just hit that button and you flush everything out of your nasal cavity, and really it does a great job. Now, I don't overuse this because it is a saline solution. If you overdo I have found if I overdo the saline solutions, it tends to dry things out. So it's probably maybe once or twice a day to take care of that, and it really does clear things out. And really, you get better sleep with this. You really do. And it's natural, so you're not injecting a lot of drugs into your nasal cavity. Now, not that that's bad, it's just that I like to try to do things naturally before I go to see a physician and, if conditions worsen, that's what I'm saying. And the next thing I use, this has really been a great product for me. It's called Sinu Orega. Let me spell that. Sinu Orega. This is by North American Herb and Spice Company. This is an oil of oregano misting spray, and they use a specific kind of oil of oregano from the Mediterranean. And this is terrific. And oil of oregano, if you do a web search on that, you'll find that there are claims that it has a lot of great health benefits and a lot of natural fighters, so to speak, that can help with different kinds of infections and that sort of thing. And I have found this to be really, really valuable. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is what I do whenever I get a sinus condition like this. So please, please, please do your own research. But a couple of suggestions there for something that may or may not help you. Your mileage may vary, as we say in the wet shaving world, but for me, they work very, very well, and they kind of curb that nasal condition getting into the infection stage just by flushing things out and keeping things moving. And then the Sinu Orega has some natural, well, for lack of a better word, antibacterial kind of properties. I don't know if it's, again, do your research, but there are some, it has some very, very good natural fighters, let's say, that help your system along. So I try to do things naturally to kind of help my system along. And the other thing that I've been doing, and I've been doing a lot of research, and we talked about this at Culver's. Abby, Cress, and Greg and I were talking about this, and that is there is some current and new research that says that if you take care of your gut bacteria, if you have a healthy gut, a healthy digestive system, that your overall health will respond from that. You might want to Google that as well. This is what I've heard, which is why I am having a forkful or two of sauerkraut with every meal. Well, not with every meal, once a day, like maybe with breakfast or dinner, depending on my schedule, because sauerkraut, if you buy natural fermented raw sauerkraut, you don't want to get the stuff in the jar. You want to get the stuff from the refrigerator case. That has a lot of good probiotics and fiber in it. And the other thing that I do is overnight oats. Every morning, I'm grabbing a jar of overnight oats for my breakfast. Monday through Thursday, and I fast one day a week to kind of reset my system. So that's kind of what I do. That's my routine. So in case you're suffering from this change in the weather, spring is emerging, it's allergy season, that sort of thing, and you're looking for some sinus relief, that's kind of what I do. But also look into maintaining a good gut balance. So, good microbes and probiotics in your gut and that sort of thing. Look into that and see if that doesn't help. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is what I do and have done just by kind of listening to my own body and doing a little bit of online research. So that's kind of what we got going on this morning. Thanks very much. I appreciate your patience with my nasal tonality this morning. And I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Boy, I needed a cup of coffee this morning. I needed a quick cup of coffee this morning. That's why we're using the Kirkland Summit Roast Keurig cups again. Boy, this is a good coffee, and I've got it in my Lake Erie mug that was featured on the Monday Morning Mailbag recently. So, yeah, we're all set. Hang on, let me get another sip. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's true. That hits the spot. A nice warm coffee, a nice hot coffee. That'll clear out the sinuses, that's for sure. Well, anyhow, great to be with you this morning. Really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Let's pay a few bills and we'll get the show underway in just a moment. Well, just in time for summer and the warmer weather, Phoenix Shaving has released Aqua DG. That's right, Aqua DG is back, an homage to Acqua di Gio, just in time for the spring and summer weather. An homage to a legend, a tribute to warmer weather, a splash of cool confidence. 10 years of this banger. Here's the scent profile. Top notes are jasmine, rosemary, and hesperidic notes. Heart notes are persimmon fruits and marine notes. Base notes are cedar, patchouli, white musk, and rock rose. One of our most requested spring and summer stunners is back and breezier than ever. Aqua DG is our epic homage to that iconic fragrance. Yes, the one that ruled the 90s and still tops the charts today. You know the one. Crisp, clean, impossibly fresh. The scent that practically defines what it means to smell good in the heat. The scent that launched 1,000 awkward first kisses and even more confident first impressions. Aqua DG is more than a cologne. It's a sensory passport to the Mediterranean. Think sun-drenched coastlines, salty skin, linen shirts half-buttoned, a Vespa ride through citrus groves. It's youth, freedom, and a splash of romance in a bottle. Now, here's a brief history of it. When the original hit shelves in 1995, it changed the game. Suddenly, men weren't just reaching for cologne, they were reaching for a feeling. That marine citrus blend became the blueprint for every summer scent that followed. But as the world moved on, formulas changed, reformulations happened, and let's be honest, it's not quite what it used to be. So we did what we do best, a resurrection, the Phoenix Shaving way. You're welcome again. So check it out from Phoenix Shaving, Aqua DG. Give it a look for the summer season. Now, once more, a reminder from Phoenix Shaving that this is your last chance to get the following shave soaps and scents. This was the last weekend. Yesterday, Sunday, and this past Saturday were the last weekend to get these scents. And I'm hoping that by the time this airs, Monday morning, some of these will still be available on their website. So I'm just going to give you a heads up on it, just in case they're still up there and still available. Or maybe they're taking them down, come late Sunday night or early Monday morning. I'm not entirely sure. But here's what is available and the last chance to get. Danaid Foil 50, Doppelganger Tricolor, Twee, Enlightener Well, Et 2, Frost Chapel, and Irish Coffee. Get them while we got them. And of course, those are great. Et 2. That is wonderful. That is an homage to Original Brut. That's fantastic. And again, Frost Chapel, that's awesome. Irish Coffee, come on, who doesn't like that one? That's terrific. And of course, Twee. Twee is great. So, some great scents and shave soaps up there. And of course, CK6, just great performance. So, they'll be discontinued for now. They'll come back next season, I would assume. But if you want them before they're gone, get up to Phoenix Shaving now. I'm hoping that this morning, Monday morning, they're still listed because this past weekend, yesterday and Saturday, that was the last weekend that they were going to be available. So hopefully hopefully you got a little bit of a grace period, today and tomorrow to give it a quick look. That's what I'm hoping. Can't promise anything because I'm recording this on a Sunday and I can see they're still available. So hopefully Monday morning they'll still be available as well. So give them a look. Danaid Foil 50, Doppelganger Tricolor, Twee, Enlightener Well, Et 2, Frost Chapel, and Irish Coffee. Last chance to get them. Get them while they got them. Now, I received this update from Phoenix Shaving, and I need to share this with you. The headline reads, "A company once offered to buy this scent from us." This is all about Future Fiction. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is they're giving a little bit of a breakdown about Future Fiction, but this was the very first shave soap that I tried from Phoenix Shaving. And because of the artwork on the label, it had a Buck Rogers kind of a look to it. And of course, I'm a cartoonist and I love comic books and cartoon strips and Superman and Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, and all the sci-fi vibe. That immediately resonated with me. And the scent was absolutely marvelous. And of course, it was CK6. Man, was that great. That was just great. Fantastic. I tried it both in CK1 and CK6. They were both great. I can't remember which formula I got. I want to say it was CK6. Yeah, I think it was CK6 because then after that, I tried CK1, which they no longer offer, just to compare how the two stacked up side by side. But anyhow, Future Fiction just resonated with me. I just loved it. And here's what they have to say here. If you don't know Future Fiction, you're doing it wrong. Be ready for the future. Future Fiction, the scent of tomorrow. Here's the scent profile. Citrus, which is lemon, bergamot, and mandarin orange. White musk, Jamaican ginger, white pepper, Haitian vetiver, hibberwood, honey amber, black sage, peppermint, and Jerusalem pine. Some PAA scents come and go like comets, bright, brief, and gone before the crowd even knows what they missed. But every now and then, one appears that refuses to burn out. It finds its orbit in the Phoenix Shaving universe and stays there, shining on. That's Future Fiction, our champion. Conceived in 2016, released officially in 2019, and still here today, untouched, unretired, and unbroken. Not many can say that, and for a good reason. It defines epic. It also defines the traditional wet shaving revival and rebellion we came up in over the last 15 years. At this point, we've made hundreds of scents, but this one is a different sort of beast. It's the one that refused to age, the one that kept pace with time instead of chasing it and then outran it. And yes, it's the one we were once offered money to sell to a major player in the male grooming industry. We chose to decline the offer. You're welcome. Here's the origin story. Back in 2016, when the formula first began taking shape, we were chasing a question more than a scent. What does next smell like? What will we be wearing in the future? And how do we hold on to the best traits of past classic splashes while forging something new? It wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't another classic reimagined. It was built from scratch, a bridge between what men used to smell like and what they might smell like 50 years from now. We spent 3 years fine-tuning it, one note at a time, until it stopped smelling like just an idea and started smelling like a place somewhere in the distant future. I truly believe someone will be wearing this very scent on a starbase in 2175. Possibly an homage version by a future artisan, but it will be there in some form, I know. When we finally released it in 2019, the response was instant and electric. Shavers described it as an instant future classic, bright, alive, playful. Some said it reminded them of summer in a city where robots cut hair and newspapers still came in print. Reviewers freaked, and it was clear immediately we had something truly timeless. And year after year, while other scents rose and fell, future fiction stayed strong. We never reformulated it. We never paused production. Future fiction never stopped being now. How about that? That is really, really wonderful, huh? Here's a breakdown on the scent. It begins in light lemon, bergamot, and mandarin orange, crisp and direct, with a charge of Jerusalem pine running through it like a current through lightning rod. Then the scent starts to breathe. White musk and white pepper glide in, adding something clean but human. A reminder that modern doesn't have to mean sterile and robotic. Jamaican ginger sparks against Haitian vetiver, creating an energy that keeps the whole thing moving, alive. At the base, hibba wood, honey amber, and black sage, grounded by peppermint, sharp enough to wake the dreamers. The result? A scent that never sits still and somehow never dates itself. Every time you smell it, it still feels like the first time all over again. We built future fiction like a sci-fi story, not a formula. Each note had to earn its line. If we couldn't explain what it was doing there, it was gone. At its heart, we included white willow bark extract, an ancient natural skin tonic used for centuries. Not just to soothe, it connects past and present, tradition and innovation. Because in a world racing toward whatever's next, future fiction is a reminder that progress still starts with craft and forward thinking. If you've ever owned a bottle of this juice, you're part of its timeline. Every splash, every morning shave, every faint trace of citrus and pine on the collar that mingles with your own unique body chemistry, that's you adding another chapter. Because this isn't just about scent anymore. It's about endurance, about building something so timeless that it keeps feeling modern no matter how much the world changes around it. It's about survival and not getting discontinued. Future fiction isn't ahead of its time, it moves with it. And somehow, it still smells like what's next. Yeah, boy, oh boy, again, this was the very first scent, shave soap and scent that I tried from Phoenix Shaving. And my gosh, I was immediately hooked. I love future fiction. And you know what? I'm going into my shelf and I'm going to pull it out along with the splash and I'm going to have a shave with it. That's how much I love it. This was a great reminder to me and also to other fellow wet shavers out there. If you have it, pull it out and use it. It's perfect year round, but now that it's warming up, doubly perfect. Yeah, it was probably around this time too, I think, like May, June that I received it. Yeah, I think it was right around 2019, somewhere in there. Boy, oh boy, it was just great. It continues to be great, and I'm looking forward to a shave with it. So if you've never tried it, get up to Phoenix Shaving and give it a go. Phoenix Shaving's Future Fiction. It's wonderful. Give it a look. From Hendricks Classics and Company, Mother's Day bundles are here. Yeah, check it out. From fragrance to self-care, these bundles make Mother's Day gifting simple. Check out the bundles that they have here. The luxurious bathing bundle. Wow, polished, nourished, and beautifully pampered. This bundle pairs our handmade artisan sugar scrub with our rich all-natural body oil for a simple self-care duo mom can actually use and enjoy. How about that? They also have the sugar scrub and women's sample set. A little self-care, a little discovery. This bundle combines our handmade artisan sugar scrub with a curated women's fragrance sample set featuring 5 small fragrances to explore and enjoy. How about that one? Look at this one right here. Exquisite Vanilla Mix. This bundle has a very high probability of delighting the mom in your life. This set brings together a shaving brush, shave soap, bath soap, and a 15 millimeter EDP for a gift that feels both practical and elevated. Wow, that is really, really wonderful. So there you go. They've got some great Mother's Day gifts up at Hendricks Classics and Company. Get over there and give them a look. Get a great Mother's Day gift for your mom today from Hendricks Classics and Company. Now, if you get a chance, get over to Matt Pisarcik's YouTube channel, the Razor Emporium YouTube channel, and check out his Double Edge Discourse. He has a guest named Sal Santos, who is the resident Honemeister for the Razor Emporium. And Sal does a straight razor head shave. Yeah, check that out. That is really interesting. I've had a chance to look at the beginning of it, and I'm going to go back and check out the actual head shave. They're both using straight razors in that particular episode, and it's really interesting to hear Sal's wet shaving journey. Yeah, give it a look, and I'm approaching the portion where he does the actual straight razor head shave. That looks really exciting. Really, really intriguing. So give it a look. Double Edge Discourse, the Matt Pisarcik Razor Emporium channel on YouTube. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a book to you. This is a collection of short stories, so you don't have to read it cover to cover. You can just jump in wherever you want to. Each one is delightful, and this is by P.G. Wodehouse. This is The World of Jeeves. It's a complete collection of all the short stories. And I can't remember where I picked this up. It might have been at a library book sale, and I'm so glad I have it. As the inside leaf reads, The World of Jeeves, a complete treasury of P.G. Wodehouse's short stories featuring Jeeves, the perfect butler, and his scatterbrained employer, Bertie Wooster. The World of Jeeves was greeted by the Sunday Times of London as, quote, a celestial omnibus, unquote, on its first publication in 1967, and since then it has been in constant demand in England. This is the first American edition of the collected short stories. The Daily Telegraph writes, infinitely agreeable. Yeah, and as you look at the inside publication page here, the hardcover edition of this book was originally published in Great Britain in 1967, and what I'm holding here is the first Harper and Row edition published in 1988. So perhaps you can find this someplace, maybe on Kindle, maybe a reprint. Look around on Amazon. It is really, really delightful. Here's what the back inside flap reads. For the young, what a present, what a thing to own, what an unfailing brand tub into which every dip is lucky, Every good grandparent, godparent, uncle, and aunt, the Dahlia kind, should at once buy several copies. That's the Times of London. What's a bran tub? Well, a bran tub is a traditional British party game. A tub filled with bran, grain husks, with small wrapped prizes hidden inside, and players reach in to grab one at random. How about that, huh? I never knew that. That's true. That's why I like reading so much. You come across these great words that maybe have faded a little bit, and every once in a while they come back and you learn something new. Here's what the Glasgow Herald has to say. A mixture of inspired lunacy and laughter that nobody but Mr. Woodhouse could have compounded. The New Statesman writes, as nearly priceless as can be managed. And Books and Bookmen wrote, a delightful bedside book. One can dip into it anywhere and pull out a plum. Yeah, really, that absolutely describes this book. I'm so glad I have it in my library. And I'm going to pull it out again and read some of these wonderful short stories. I've read them in the past. They're just fantastic. The characters are so memorable, and Jeeves is the ultimate butler. He always is able to get his employer, Bertie, out of some kind of confusing situation where Bertie gets to save face and he gets to go about his luxurious London lifestyle unaffected. Even though he is messing things up along the way, Jeeves is able to undo whatever mess comes along for Bertie. It really is terrific. Classic characters. P.G. Woodhouse, as I recall, created these characters back, I think, in the 20s and 30s. I could be wrong, but somewhere in that timeline. And they are just delightful. Just really, really very, very enjoyable, humorous stories. And the characters, they stick with you. Right here on the back cover where it said Dahlia, kind. That's Aunt Dahlia, a character in the books. I'm curious now. I want to go back in and read that again. It's been a while since I've read these, but I happened to see it on my bookshelf and thought, you know what? I have to mention this to all the listeners out there, because there is so much available out there. With new media, with streaming, with movies and music and that sort of thing. Every once in a while, it's great just to take a step backward and rediscover some of the wonderful publications and writings from the past. And since we do the traditional wet shave and we are enjoying vintage razors from the 1900s, the 1920s, the 1930s, and 1940s, it's great to kind of go back in time and read some of the great writing from those periods. And The World of Jeeves here by P.G. Woodhouse is a terrific introduction. It'll let you slow down and be entertained at the same time. And it's great to read wonderful writing, something that really celebrates the English language. And Mr. Woodhouse definitely had that gift. So give it a look, The World of Jeeves, if you can find a reprint of it. Or, you know what, just dive into any kind of reprint that's out there of the Jeeves character, because there's a lot of different collections out there. Or check it out at your local library. The World of Jeeves by P.G. Woodhouse. Give it a look and give it a read. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show, and I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.